Good afternoon, YouTube. What's going on, man? This is Rich coming to you for another video. I'm at home. Home time. Home time is important in trucking, man. Sometimes you gotta break yourself free from that truck. I remember when I first started driving trucks 7 years ago. My trainer, I asked him. I said, "Man, how much home time do you take? When last time you been home?" He said, "Man, let me see. I ain't been home in 7, 8 months." I was like, "Man, listen." That's a jail cell. Okay, so always remember to take some home time, fellas. But this video here is going to be entitled "Working with Prime Incorporated." In my experience, I'm sorry I'm a little sleepy. I just woke up, got in late last night. Um, I had a subscriber ask me what is it like working with Prime, and you know, describe my experience. I'm gonna get straight to the point. Like I said in my previous videos, I was with Steven Transport for almost 7 years. Well, 7 years pretty much. They had, it's funny because they sent me the seniority pen like after 6 years or something. I never went to pick it up, so I didn't care about that. But anyway, I've been with Prime for about, it's going on almost 6 months now. And to be honest with you, my experience at Prime is pretty pleasant. A couple of things that I need to highlight about them. One, I'm an independent contractor for them, meaning that I'm not per se a company employee. I'm more of an independent contractor. I run my own business through Prime by pulling their freight. The reason I chose independent contractor because I wanted the freedom to make decisions where I wanted to go, what I wanted to do, and where I wanted to be. Okay, I've been driving truck for about 7 years, and there's parts of the country, man, that I want to stay away from, especially in the wintertime. And that Interstate 80 across Wyoming is one of them. That Interstate 80 is so dangerous. I don't take loads up there during the wintertime. Now, I will go up there. I guess I'll go up there around April, maybe May. From May to like September, I might go up there. But in the dead of winter, I don't. It's very dangerous. I had a friend who almost died up there. I called myself one time taking a load up there with Stevens with a trainee, and we got stuck in the middle of Wyoming with 80-mile-an-hour gusts, and I thought the truck was going to. The wind blew so bad it blew my fenders off the truck. If you look at the back of a truck, they have fenders sticking up, and it blew them off. Just ripped them right off the truck. So it was very dangerous, man, and a very scary situation. Not to mention multiple jackknives and flipped over trucks up there. I said, you know what? It's not worth it. I don't care how much the load pays. Being stranded in the middle of Wyoming is just a dangerous thing in the wintertime. You're talking about, life and death situation up there. So I don't go up there. But in the summertime, I will. It's beautiful, but now I just don't. So I wanted to be an independent contractor so I can have that freedom to make decisions, And so far, we're Prime. They haven't set me up there. They haven't set me really. The farthest west I've been so far with these folks is Denver. I've been in Denver, Colorado, and then from Denver, I worked my way to the East Coast. So I've been mainly working in the Midwest and like Kansas, Illinois, Chicago, Texas, Pennsylvania, and all down. And I'm happy with that. I didn't have to reject too many loads that were going west in the wrong areas. But when the summertime comes and the heat's on, then I'll go west. I'll go up to Washington, Oregon, Idaho, even North Dakota. Okay, if they have loads going there, which I'm not sure yet. But the reason I chose independent contractor is just because, in working with Prime, it's been great. I have no complaints. This is an amazing company, and like I said in my previous videos, I wish I would have hopped on these folks 7 years ago. I'd be in a different financial situation now. Um, they, percentage of the load is amazing. To me, it is. You know, they're almost like Landstar without all the deadhead. Like I have buddies who worked at Landstar, and some of them did good, but some of them did pretty bad. And the major issue they have there was lack of trailers and the deadhead. I had a lot of guys hit a deadhead a lot of miles just to find an empty trailer. When they did a drop and hook or something, and that eats into your profit a lot. So, and then dealing with the brokers, I heard that that was an issue too. Sometimes they had loads that didn't even touch the board. They went straight to their favorite drivers, which is it's messed up in this business, especially if you're new. But Prime doesn't have that issue. Um, I've been getting pretty decent loads. Like this week, I'm home and I ran 2 loads. So out of those 2 loads, my total. Oh, sorry, I got a cat here. My total revenue to my truck was about $3,100 for the week. That's right. I ran about, let me see, 1,600 miles, and my total revenue was about $3,100 to the truck. Now that would be my lowest revenue since I've been here because I haven't really took any significant time off, since I've been at Prime. But I am now because my birthday is on Monday, so I'm going to take it easy and relax, and just chill. So, but I'll let you guys know what that do, what the final numbers are. I'm guessing maybe 700-800 bucks or something, but that's still good because I'll be home a whole week, you know. And when I come back out on the road next Monday, I'll be in the hole maybe about 1,400 bucks, but I'll run from Monday to our transfer day, which is Thursday or Wednesday, and I'm sure I can get the hole like that. I mean, it's the revenue's there, and from what I understand, the revenue is about to pick up too. So, but I really like Prime, man. I do. I like their facilities. I like the professional environment, and I like the newness of it. And what I mean by that is, when you walk into the terminal in Springfield, it is clean. They got good food there. They got a gym there. They got a daycare there. They got a spa there. They got a full doctor's office in the basement. They have, what else they got? I think they got a movie theater there too. I haven't seen it, but I heard they have a movie theater. They got a post office there, which is amazing. Um, they got a detail shop there. So if you want to put graphics and logos on your truck, you can. If you want to change your truck's name and put something there, I seen a guy driving around with Star Wars on his truck. I seen a guy driving around with Ohio State Buckeyes, 49ers, the whole logo and everything. Um, I might do that. I don't know, I'm thinking about it. We'll see. But as far as the income and stuff, it's been great. It's been steady and consistent. And see, that's the thing that you want to look out for in trucking. Okay, they could be a great company and all. They have good equipment and all, but are you making enough money to sustain yourself? See, that's the question. And at Prime, I am. I'm not breaking my back. I'm not driving 600 miles plus a day. I'm taking my time. Getting there safe. And delivering the load safe. And making a decent paycheck. At Stevens Transport, I hate to talk about it. I had a guy comment on my video. Why you keep talking about Steven? Let it go. And then I looked at his page and I realized he's a rookie. Man, you can't really talk too much, man. You have to sit down and take notes, brother. Okay? When somebody's giving you some game, take notes, man. Okay? I know you're new in this field, and it seems like the best thing since sliced bread. But when you become educated and stuff, and you start opening your eyes to things, then perceptions are different. You know what I mean? So I had to laugh at that, man. I was like, oh, how can somebody who ain't been in a truck more than a month tell me that Steven's the best thing since sliced bread? Whatever, bro. But anyway, I digest. But to answer my subscribers' question, I make it work by just, communicating with them. That's the biggest thing, you know. Now, I had one service failure last year around the beginning of December. The reason that I had a service failure was because I was delivering up in Cincinnati, and snow and ice just came out of nowhere. And instead of me getting on the Qualcomm on the computer and communicating that I'm going to be late with them, I didn't say anything. And I was only going to be probably about an hour late, or maybe 2 hours late. But I see I got a service failure, and I'm sure I can fight that. I could probably call my DM and be like, hey, listen, on that time, it was a ice storm, and I just pulled over. I didn't communicate. See, I'm a type of guy, really low key. Okay, I don't really like calling management, and I know it's a bad thing in trucking or just a bad thing in general, but I don't really like calling management and and talking. I kind of like to be like, oh yeah, hi Rich, and then what was that guy's name again? I'm a low key guy, but I realize in this independent contractor environment, you got to communicate. So now, if I feel as though I'm going to be late or something, I'm sending messages like crazy, just to let them know, and just so they can be like, well, he didn't let us know. That's the thing with this business, and I guess I'm still learning that. You know what I mean? Is that you got to communicate with your dispatchers and your DMs to let them know when there's a problem. Being on time and delivering a load on time is a big thing with these business. It makes them, it separates them from the other competitors. And I guess, my DM explained it to me. He said, well, that's how we're able to charge the fees that we do and get the money we do. So I guess after a while, I had to change my mindset. I don't like really talking a whole lot, despite these videos I make. I really don't like, talking to management a whole lot, but I guess I have to. So, but anyway, the money's been good. I think the guy said he had a 17-year-old kid that was graduating high school and going to college or to the military, and will Prime be a good company to come back to? And you know what? It will be. Even for your new drivers who want to come into the industry, Prime is a great school to learn. They have a very professional environment, a very comfortable environment, and they treat you with respect. See, that's the biggest thing with me. I actually been with companies that really talk reckless to you and crazy to you, man, and I don't get that here at Prime. I just don't. you know, it's a good company to come work for. So at the bottom, I'm gonna leave my driver code. If you guys are interested in applying to Prime, I might even leave a number for a recruiter. Give them a call and say I referred you. I appreciate it. And if you don't, it's your business. But I make these videos as form of I make these videos for educational purposes. To be honest with you, like I told you, when I was starting this business, nobody really sat down with me and said, "Hey, Rich, this is what works. This is what doesn't work. This is how you make money. This is how you don't." If that was the case, I would have been stuck where I was at for like 7 years. But I'm glad I'm gone, man. Man, excuse me, man. Cat hairs, by. I got a cat. Let me see. Got my cat over there. Look at her hairy ass. And I think her hair is bothering me. She like to lay up on me sometime. You see she's a lazy cat. But anyway, if you have any more questions, guys, like, subscribe, comment. I try to put out the truth and the real and my experiences. In my trucking career, I worked for about 4 companies. And I gotta say, Prime is one of the better ones. One of the better companies. One I'm doing pretty good at. Pretty soon, I'll be going back to the Springfield terminal to become certified to be a trainer, and that's going to be an adventure. I'm looking forward to that. Not because of the income, but just as sometimes when you've been on the road for so long, you like to have somebody in your truck just to talk to. I'm not a lonely person, nothing like that, but it's just that being out in the middle of the country, sometimes you just want to spread your knowledge and talk. You want to have somebody to talk to, and it feels good to teach somebody something new. I trained for Stevens for for about 7 years. I trained with them. Well, I guess 6.5, you can say. And I enjoyed, some of the stories and some of the people I met. I had some good trainees and I had some terrible, terrible trainees who shouldn't even touch the wheel. Okay. But I did my best to work with these folks and to help them. People who come to trucking, about 90% of them, we're just dead broke and all opportunities are shut and we just need a good job that pays well. And I felt good helping students get on their feet. I had one success story that sticks in my head. His name was Akeem. He was a Jamaican, and he lived in Maine. Now, that threw me for like a loop. You're Jamaican living in Maine. That's like the whitest town, the whitest state in the country. But I guess his family came over to his country. They moved to Maine. Anyway, he was telling me that when he first started driving truck, he lived with his girlfriend. He had a baby to her. The girlfriend and the mother kicked him out on like the last week of trucking school. Trucking school in Maine was 3 weeks. So he had to sleep in his car while he went to school. So the school let them do it. They're like, look, we understand. And I'm pretty sure there's extreme situations like that throughout the country where people are losing their homes or people just don't have nowhere to go. So he stayed in the truck. And on the last day when he was testing out to get his CDL, the repo man came and repossessed his car. So he had to sleep in the classroom on the last day. They let him do it because he got a CDL and he was about to get a bus ticket to come to Stevens. When he came to Stevens, right, he did his orientation, and he was assigned to me. When he came on my truck, he didn't have a bag of clothes or nothing. What I mean, he showed up in the clothes he had on his back. He showed up on the clothes he had on his back. And I was like, damn. And I was like, so where's your clothes? He said, well, I want to get the pillows and like that. So I went and got him some pillows and some sheets just so he can sleep. Okay. I need my students to be wide awake. But he told me, he said, Rich, listen, man, this has to work. This has to work. This has to work. So he drove and he did a hell of a job. He graduates off my truck and he gets on to Stevens, becomes a lease operator. And he works there for about 6 months, and then he went to Swift. And a lot of people brag about Swift being a shitty company or something. They're just a big target because they're a big company. But he stayed with Swift, and then he went independent contractor with them. And next thing I know, I check on him because I check on all my students, see how they're doing after like 7, 8 months. And he went and bought a truck. Not only did he buy a truck, he went and he fell in love with some woman out in Oregon or Portland, Oregon. Moved to Oregon, got a townhouse, bought a one of those Challengers, brand new, and he came up, he got on his feet, and that just makes me proud, because that was a student that came to me, and he was at the desperate of the lows, the lowest of the lows in his life, but he used trucking to turn himself around, and I got a million stories like that. I mean, I had guys who come to me and it's like, "Hey, Rich, listen, I got to get my training done now. I got to drive 11 hours a day. I got to get it done." And, they're just, it's amazing, where this trucking industry has taken people, from being homeless to owning homes and being successful. So anyway, that's enough of me rambling. Like, subscribe, comment. If you're interested in working for Prime, I'll leave my driver code at the bottom. And I think I'll leave a number to a recruiter if I can find one. I think I have one. And tell me what you think. Till next time, y'all.